Welcome back to the Stars and Stripes Soccer Show, Webisode number 2. In the first two parts of our show, we talked about the Costa Rica friendly and the Belgium friendly, and so now we're going to move on and talk about a response we had on our YouTube channel. It was by DarthMex1991, and his basic assessment was he didn't think of the U.S. players in the Mexico game. He's thinking that the U.S. depends too much on quote-unquote over-the-hill players. I think he's referring to probably Donovan and Dempsey. He feels that the U.S. does not get the game of touch. When he says that they were playing out of their game, and he doesn't know whether or not on the second half was it the players were not listening to Klinsmann, but they played better because, in his opinion, they stopped playing that touch game. And basically, he also said that he thinks the Mexican League is greater than the MLS League. In response to that, what are your thoughts?
I mean, he does have a point with maybe we need to start relying on the likes of Demps and Cherundolo and Bocanegra and Donovan to come through. But you know, I don't think that he's looking at the bigger picture. There's a lot of guys out there, like we've mentioned, Rexhay, Altidor's only what, 21, 22. We got Robbie Rogers. I mean, the list goes on and on. We have the players and the capability and the talents there to make things happen. As far as the Mexico games goes, I'm really bitter over the four. What was it? We lost the Gold Cup.
The 4-2 loss.
4-2 loss.
In the final.
Mexico took it out of our pockets, but you know what? Mexico's great. I'm not going to take anything away from them, but U.S. is just as great. When U.S. really gets down to playing the style that I'm not even going to say a specific style, but a style that works for them at that particular moment, they make things happen. I mean, we don't go up 2-0 on Brazil, or we don't beat Spain 2-0 just because, you know.
There's definitely talent there.
Yeah, we're a team, we're a force to be reckoned with, and Mexico has felt it for the past 7 years. Yeah, they came up with us in the Gold Cup, and in this game, you know what, man, we shut them down. We were lost because we came out flat once again against the Mexico game, and it was in Philly.
Yeah.
We came out flat, and I think the boys needed a good yell in halftime to really get things moving.
It was just, I think it's also, you know, their first game under Klinsmann.
Yeah.
Think about it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their first game under Klinsmann, a new system, trying to impress a new coach, and they had just played Mexico 3 weeks prior and lost a pretty tough game. They were up 2-0. Probably thought the game, you know, was in hand, and for Mexico to come back and show really their strength, show that they're probably taking over right now in our region. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see what we see.
Like I said, it's not over. It's not over till the fat lady sings, you know. And yeah, Mexico got that victory, but U.S. is coming hard, man, and they're gonna work hard, and they're gonna show why they're number one in CONCACAF.
To his comment about saying that the Mexican League is better than the MLS, personally, I see it. The gap is closing, definitely. We saw that FC Dallas recently just beat, I'm not sure who it was, but they won on Mexican soil. They beat a Mexican club team. And
two teams, and I believe it was
yeah.
Seattle, and the Galaxy is going out to Morelia next week.
Yeah. So the gap is closing as far as people say the MLS is not a good league. I have to disagree. You know, it is not the best league. It is by far probably not the best top 5. But the league is growing, and it's great to see. You know, the league started in 1996.
It was Salt Lake. I'm sorry, it wasn't Seattle. It was
it was Real Salt Lake. It was Real Salt Lake. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
But the league is definitely growing. Right. So that gap between the Mexican League and the MLS definitely is closing.
You know, look. Some of the teams in Mexico are as old as California. You know, they're 60 years. Chivas is like 1919 when that team was first built.
1900s.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't really compare them. You can't really say. Obviously, yes, the Mexican League has been in play for
a while. It's an older league. MLS is still young.
Yeah. And yeah, there's way more talent there. Obviously, you got a lot of South Americans coming in there, but really, the MLS can compete. Maybe won't, you know, it isn't. I don't want to say it's better than the Mexican League, but it can compete. We were saying Dallas, Real Salt Lake, Galaxy. I can bet you Galaxy's gonna go in there and try to get a victory.
Yeah, they'll give them a game for sure.
Yeah,
it's not gonna
but
be.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as say because you can't compare the English league to the Spanish league. You can't compare the Dutch league to the French. You can't do it. There's no way. It's different styles of play. The Mexican league is a lot more technical. It's not as physical. It's a lot of touch game, a lot of touch in a lot of small spaces. Boring at times. No offense.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and it's a different style of play. So with that said, yeah, I'll give it to you. You know, there's more money involved in the Mexican league. Maybe a lot more prestige. But at the end of the day, the MLS teams can't compete, and I think that's
so moving on. Let's talk about real quick because we're gonna have a short, some pictures, some videos. Our experience at Costa Rica game. What did you think about that? We got there a little early. We got to hang out with AO. What did you think about the whole, pre-game and then probably like your experience in the game, if you can, really quick?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was great. A lot of the boys that we were hanging out with, AO, we're hanging out with the LA chapter, the IE chapter. We're part of the OC chapter, and we were just a bunch of guys that, girls too, that like soccer and like the U.S. national team, and we were there supporting. We were singing songs. It felt like we were part of something, man.
Yeah.
And we're here and we're ready to take over.
I think it was great to see that there was a common interest, and as you and I were huge fans of this game, we're huge fans of the USMNT national team, and it was great to see that others shared the same interest. And a lot of them, we interviewed a couple. They knew they were.
And that's what I like that the people actually know what they're talking and have an opinion. And they get passionate, they get angry, they get passionate about it, and the passion's there, the quality's there, the money's there. There's no reason why we shouldn't be on top.
Definitely, the supporters group, AO, does a great job.
Oh yeah.
Let me just talk about real quick. What do you think about the USSF trying to censor certain chants? The YSA chant. Pretty sure you heard about it.
Yeah.
Real quick, what are your thoughts about that? Personally, I think how can you censor supporters group? Mexico has their goal kick chant. I'm pretty sure everybody's obviously heard it, and they're not censored.
England has just.
England, it's part of the game.
Yeah, and you know what? I try not to pay too much attention to that because you're asking the wrong person, man. I have no comment when it comes to that, and I feel like we're gonna do what we're gonna do, and
that's it.
Try and stop us.
So real quick, I want to thank our buddy Kiet Din. It's his Twitter is at KietDinH.
Thank you for your support, man.
Thanks for the support, man. We appreciate it. We've been talking to a lot of the AO guys out there, a lot of the fans out there. Let them know about our show, what we're trying to do. We're just basically trying to put this together for the fans, by the fans. Very supportive. We got a tweet from him. I also want to thank Greg, Chase, and Kevin for taking time out of their partying, pre-gaming, to take time and interview us and give us their opinion and their ideas of what they thought or what they were expecting for the Costa Rica
Yeah, man,
game.
and big ups to you guys, man. You guys really do your homework, and we can see the passion coming out of you guys, man, and we really appreciate that, man.
Yeah, big thanks from the Stars and Stripes Soccer Show. And so basically, here are some pictures and videos of our experience, as well as the interviews from the guys mentioned earlier. Hope you enjoy. Once again, thank you for tuning in. This is Webisode number 2, the Stars and Stripes Soccer Show, with your host Carlos Reyes and his co-host Ney Jacinto.
Thank you. Have a good night.